Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel. I have no idea what a good name is for the show, channel, whatever we're going to call it. I should probably come up with a name at some point. If y'all want to help me out with that, that'd be great. What I would really appreciate is if you go and make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications every week when we post a new video about recruiting stuff. This week, I want to talk to you about the quiet period. So as I'm recording this right now, we are in the middle toward the end of the August quiet period. Jason, what is a quiet period? Does it mean we can't email college coaches? There's a lot of assumptions about what a quiet period is or what it isn't. And so we're going to talk about all of that. But I have heard from several families in the last couple of weeks, basically the response to me saying, hey, we should be doing this and this. They go, oh, we thought it was a quiet period. And then when I explain to them, they go, oh, we didn't know, or we were misinformed. Okay. One of my reactions to families or parents when they tell me something about the recruiting process, I go, oh, where'd you hear that? Was it from me? Because if it's not from me, I don't know how accurate or true the information is. Obviously, I'm not perfect or an expert on everything, but when it comes to the recruiting stuff, I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of what's going on and what's happening. When it comes to a quiet period, it is important to understand a couple different things. And one of the first things to understand before we even talk about a quiet period specifically, what it is and what isn't, is that there's very few rules prohibiting athletes from doing lots of different things. Obviously, there's rules for high school athletes and compliance and quote unquote amateurism, if we're still doing that nowadays. But there's very few rules, if any, regarding athletes and their communication to college coaches. Any of the rules that are in the NCAA handbook and that coaches have to follow, any of those rules are on college coaches and their either response back to you or them reaching out to you, but it's their communication from the college coach to the athlete. That's where the rules are. There's almost none, and really none, that I can think of that are player to coach communication wise. The only things would be if you show up on campus and you're a freshman and you talk to the college coach, okay? That responsibility really in a lot of ways is still on the college coach to not have that conversation with you and not have that conversation go beyond, hey, welcome to our campus, and then continue walking. Chances are that's not going to fall back on the athlete and be a negative to the athlete. So athletes, remember, you can reach out to college coaches anytime. You can send emails to college coaches anytime. The only stipulation as far as communication goes is going to be the college coach's communication back to you, okay? And there's a few things there, right? For Division I, this is a quiet period right now in August, and there's other quiet periods scattered throughout the rest of the year. You can see on the graphic or saw on the graphic what that calendar looks like. And if you want to know where to find that calendar, let me know, put something in the comments. I'll leave a link to the NCAA website where you can get access to that calendar. But there are Division I quiet periods throughout the school year or the calendar year, but there's no quiet periods for Division II programs. Division II programs don't have quiet periods. They only have a dead period, and that's going to be during signing, just like Division I has their dead period during signing. And I believe January 1st is a dead period for Division I and potentially Division II as well. I think those are the same. So no rules as far as athletes reaching out to college coaches, okay? When is the quiet period? What are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do? So again, with a quiet period, the rules fall on the coach. And so when it comes to a quiet period, like we're in right now in August, and like we'll have again in May, and like we have in December and January for Division I, not Division II, not Division III, not NAIA, okay? Just Division I. When it comes to a quiet period for Division I, they are not allowed to go off campus to recruit. So they can't go to a high school game in August. They can't go to a club game. If there were club games in August, they cannot go off campus to recruit, but they can have visits and they can do things like that on campus. They just can't go off campus to recruit. That's a quiet period. That's it. Okay. Doesn't have anything to do with emails, texting, phone calls, right? A dead period is when a college coach cannot go off campus or on campus to do recruiting. Okay. And recruiting typically means face-to-face contact or evaluations, but they can't go off campus and they can't go on campus. That's a dead period. Obviously they can go on their campus, right? And work. That'd be nice. And they just can't have recruiting events on campus, can't have visits, things like that. Okay. So that's a dead period and that's a quiet period. When it comes to athletes, you can text, email, make phone calls at any time during the calendar year. The quiet period, again, impacts the college coach, not you. And even in this situation, a quiet period impacting a college coach doesn't have anything to do with what their communication back to you as far as text message, emails, and phone calls. Now, it doesn't impact them in that way unless you're a freshman, sophomore. If you're a freshman, sophomore, Division I schools cannot text you back, they can't email you back, and they definitely can't call you back, okay? But a quiet period doesn't have anything to do with that piece. So for Division II coaches, quiet period, not quiet period. Again, Division II doesn't have quiet periods, okay? So Division II coaches, they're allowed to email freshmen and sophomores back. They're allowed to text freshmen and sophomores back. They're allowed to have phone calls with freshmen and sophomores. So again, a quiet period instructs the college coach on what they are allowed and not allowed to do, doesn't necessarily impact the athlete. And again, with a quiet period, there's no stipulation on what a college coach can do communication-wise. I know the word quiet means that they can't, like a lot of people will just assume they can't email because it's quiet period. They can't text me back because it's quiet period. They're not calling me back because it's quiet period. No, that's not the case. There's some other reasons probably why they're not doing that. Again, maybe you could be a freshman or a sophomore and you're reaching out to a Division I school and they can't reach out to you. They can't respond back to you. But if you're a junior and a senior, they can definitely respond to you. They can definitely reach out to you. They can definitely email you back. They can definitely give you a call back. They can text you back. They can do all those things even on a quiet period. So we've got quiet period means no off-campus recruiting, okay? No off-campus contact. Dead period, no off-campus or on-campus contacting or recruiting, okay, with athletes. But nothing in quiet or dead period involves emailing, texting, or phone calls. So athletes, you can reach out whenever and however you would like to college coaches. You can DM them on social media if you would like. You can reach out to them via social media. You can text college coaches, freshmen. You can text a college coach if you have their phone number. They aren't going to be able to text you back, but you can do that piece, okay? So I want you to understand how all of this works from a communication standpoint. This is one of the reasons why I try to get athletes to understand communication is your responsibility as an athlete that wants to play college volleyball. You have to be intentional. You have to reach out. You have to be proactive. You have to initiate contact. If you're not the one doing that, even as a freshman and sophomore, these college coaches will potentially think that you're not interested. And you can go watch my other video about speedy recruiting and learn all about that piece of it and why the interest early on is really important. But athletes, during a quiet period, you can 100% send text messages, you can 100% send emails, and you can 100% make phone calls. Again, as long as you're a junior or senior to Division I schools and Division II and on down, college coaches can have that back and forth with you, even if you're a freshman, sophomore. Quiet period doesn't have anything to do with texting, emailing, and making phone calls. So hopefully that's clear. If I'm unclear or if you're confused, let me know in the comments. Again, please make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, whatever we're gonna call it. We're gonna brainstorm that and maybe come back with an actual name here soon. But please make sure you subscribe so you can get all the notifications and all the updates about when we post stuff on the channel. Thanks.